Hi, Aries. So, this is your October 2025 energy update for Aries rising, Aries sun, or Aries moon. This month emphasizes transformation in relationships, career breakthroughs, and deep emotional clarity. With your seventh house of partnerships, 10th house of career, and eighth house of intimacy highlighted, the skies push you to grow through connection, power dynamics, and purposeful action. On October 1st, Mercury in Libra squares Jupiter in Cancer, and the moon enters Aquarius. Tensions spark between your seventh house of partnerships and your fourth house of home and family. This may bring conversations about relationship commitments, boundaries, or shared domestic responsibilities. The Aquarius moon lights up your 11th house, adding perspective from friends or community. On October 6th, Mercury enters Scorpio. Full moon is in Aries. So, Mercury in your eighth house deepens conversations around intimacy, shared resources, and transformation. The Aries full moon in your first house is a powerful reset moment. It's illuminating your personal growth, your identity, and independence. Release old roles that no longer reflect who you are. On October 11th, Venus in Virgo opposes Saturn in Pisces. This activates your 6th and 12th houses. You may feel pulled between the demands of daily work and the need for rest, healing, or spiritual reflection. Balance service with solitude. On October 13th, Venus enters Libra and Pluto moves direct in Aquarius. Venus opposes Neptune in Aries. Venus in your seventh house renews harmony in relationships. Pluto direct in your 11th house drives transformation in your social circles and your long term dreams. Yet Venus opposing Neptune in your first house warns against projecting illusions onto others. So stay grounded in your own truth. On October 14th, Venus trines Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius. This flows beautifully between your seventh, third, and 11th houses. Partnerships, communications, and friendships support breakthroughs and deeper bonds. On October 17th, the Sun in Libra squares Jupiter in Cancer. Your seventh house of relationships and fourth house of home are once again in focus. Boundaries in family or partnerships may be tested, so stay mindful of overpromising. On October 20th, Mercury conjunct Mars in Scorpio. This energizes your eighth house, and intense conversations around shared finances, intimacy, or trust could arise. Use this for honest dialogue and productive strategy. On October 21st, the new moon in Libra. This moon in Libra squares Jupiter in Cancer. The new moon in your seventh house sets a fresh cycle in relationships. New partnerships, commitments, or ways of relating may begin. The square to Jupiter in your fourth house reminds you to integrate balance at home. On October 22nd, Neptune enters Pisces until January of 2026, and the Sun enters Scorpio. Neptune enters your 12th house, heightening intuition and spiritual growth, but also dissolving of illusions. Be clear about your boundaries. The Sun in your 8th house shifts focus to transformation, shared energy, and deep emotional work. October 24th, the Sun in Scorpio squares Pluto in Aquarius. Mercury trines Jupiter in Cancer. A dynamic push between your 8th house and 11th houses highlight power shifts in groups or joint ventures. At the same time, Mercury trining Jupiter supports honest, healing conversations with family or private matters. On October 28th, Mars in Scorpio trines Jupiter in Cancer. Momentum builds in your 8th and 4th houses, empowering you to take decisive action around family resources, real estate, or emotional foundations. On October 29th, Mercury enters Sag. Mercury opposes Uranus in Gemini, and Mars trines Saturn in Pisces. So Mercury lights up your ninth house, expanding focus on travel, learning, and higher wisdom. But the opposition to Uranus in your third house may bring surprising news or shifts in communication. Mars in your eighth house, trining Saturn in your 12th, brings stability to deep healing and transformative work. This October challenges you to balance your independence with connection and your need for depth with the realities of home and partnership. Let go of outdated versions of yourself under this full moon and step boldly into cycles of intimacy and truth with the new moon. The skies are pushing you to alignment with authentic relationships and purposeful transformation. Aries, I hope you have a wonderful month. Please stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great month.